Hello, and welcome to this ninth lecture in which we're going to talk about the chapter 8 of Kotler's Marketing Management, Designing and Managing Products. So in this section, we've been covering the part 4 of Kotler's Marketing Management for 14th and 16th edition, which is called Designing Value. And at the end of this lecture, we will cover three things about the chapter 8, Designing and Managing Product. We'll recap the concepts taught in that chapter, learn any answers to the question asked in this chapter, and learn the solutions to the cases given in this chapter. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start with product differentiation. What is product differentiation? Product differentiation is a must for success of in the business. One extreme of product that shows very little variation, like aspirin, chicken, steel, even though they have been as differentiated. And there are other end has products that can be highly differentiated, like cars and furniture. Furnitures can be very highly differentiated. Well differentiated products can create competitive advantage. They are a great source of a competitive advantage. What is the basis of product differentiation? As you see, there are many. The core functionality is one starting point, and that's a bare minimum. That's a must for success. Then there is something called features that you can use for differentiation. They supplement the core functionality, can be identified and selected by surveying the recent buyers, and they used in calculating the total value of the for the customer versus the company costs to decide. Performance quality is another basis of differentiation. It is the level products' primary functions work. Uh, should design it appropriate for the target market and competition, not necessarily the highest quality, but as appropriate for the customers as needed. And it needs to be managed through time. Conformance qualities, the degree all units of the products are identical and they meet the specification. That's a consistency of the production. Durability, reliability, form, size, shape, physical structure, style, which is look and feel that can create distinctiveness. And customization is another basis in which you can design a product specifically based on what the customer wants and customer doesn't want. Uh, Product design, let's talk about product design, which is the main theme of this lecture, offers a potent way to differentiate. So we talked about differentiation, and design is one important way to differentiate and position companies' offering. It's the totality of offerings that affect the way consumers look at the product, feel the product, and make the products function. It's made up of functional and aesthetic benefits, and appeals can be both rational and emotional. So let's look at how powerful is the design. Uh, Brands transmit meaning through design in critical is in critical in visually is critical in our visually oriented culture. Our culture is very visually oriented, and the design allows brands to transmit meaning through the visual media. Eye-catching colors, forms, graphics create distinctiveness, differentiation. Many times in the crowded market, that's the only way, the design is the only way to stand out. Uh, Long lasting products like consumer durables have special utility for the power of design, for the design, and it can shift consumer perceptions to make brand experience more rewarding. So, design is an important parameter, and it is becoming more important for customers who want look and feel. And as the affluence grows, look and feel is becoming more and more important. What are the various approaches to design? It's not a phase of offering creation, but that's a way of thinking. Well designed product is easy to manufacture and distribute, is good to look at, is easy to open, install, use, repair, and dispose, right from beginning to end. And designers needs to take into account all these considerations while designing a product. And Kotler talks about only one approach, while there are more of design thinking. It's a three-phase approach of observation, ideation, and implementation, and involves a lot of research, especially ethnographic studies, to creating brainstorming and teamwork to bring a design to life. Let's. He next talks about product portfolios and product lines. And he says products exist as a part of a portfolio and a part of a product or a part of product line. And the product line or portfolio should be such that the products are related to other products so that the firms offers an optimal set of product to fulfill the needs of different customer segments. So it has to have consistency of that. Let's look at how do we design portfolios, product portfolios. So as we are saying, product portfolios encompass all products offered by the company, including various categories and lines. So if you have multiple categories, skincare, oral care, so it include the entire portfolio. A portfolio has a width, which is number of different product lines, a length, number of items in the portfolio, depth, number of variants for a specific product in a line, consistency, how closely they are related to other product lines, and use, production, distribution or any other way they are related to each other. These dimensions allow business expansion in four ways. One, you can add a product line naturally. You can lengthen a product line. You can add more variants to a product. And you can pursue more product line consistency. And to do that, what you need is a product line analysis. And let's look at the product line analysis. Anyone who wants to do product line analysis to the sales and profit of each item, each variant that you have in the line, to determine which items to build, maintain, harvest, or divest. So these are the four critical decisions. Also need to understand the product line's market profile and image. Other than the financials like sales and profit, also you need to know the profile and image. The line typically consists of products appealing to different segments, and they have different margins. And we need to develop strategy for maximizing profitability of the entire line if you're talking of a product line. Also, we need to review how a line is positioned against the competitors. Product map is a very useful way of seeing competitors at a glance and identify segments and spot opportunities. Let's look at an example of a product line. How does it look? Product map. So in this case, we're showing you a map of a paper manufacturer in which you see the companies is represented by X and A, B, C, D are its competitor. And this map is on paper weight and on finish quality. And you see three different segments of the market: point of purchase displays, office supplies, and general printing. And what you see here is that company is represented in all the three segments, but there are more opportunities. Like in point of purchase displays on the extra high price and high quality, finished quality, there is an opportunity where B and C are positioned today. Similarly, on the low side, so it's kind of middle position company in terms of finished quality and in terms of even for the price, it's kind of in the middle. So at the extremes of low and high paperweight and low and high quality, company can find opportunities, and that's the utility of a product map. How do you optimize a product portfolio? It basically means focusing core brands for growth and concentrating resources on the biggest, more established brands and the promising brands, obviously. Every product in the line must have a role, and so must every brand in the portfolio. So we need to ask this question: what is the role of each product in the line and of every brand in the portfolio? And they can be modernized. They need to be modernized regularly because the environment is not static. Consumers are not static. They keep changing. Competition, environment, consumers. And there are two ways. One, we can do piecemeal, as in when customers you identify a new style, you can do that. It's less draining on companies' cash flows, but it allows competitors to react because you're doing it piecemeal. And the second option is to do all at once, which is much more draining, but it allows a broader action in the market. Modernization, it needs to be and tends to be continuous and rapidly changing market, especially let's say technology. There the modernization is kind of every year, every 6 months. And we need to keep making line improvements so that they are neither too early nor too late. And that's a huge judgment call. He talks about next, the product line length is basically the length of a product line is influenced by the company objectives. The line length is dependent on how much do you want to induce upscaling, facilitate cross-selling, and protect against economic ups and downturns. Companies that are looking for higher growth and market share carry longer product lines. Those focusing on profitability, higher profitability, carry shorter with carefully chosen products. Lines can be lengthened over a period of time with increasing costs. Line growth is followed by massive pruning over a period of time, and that seems to be a natural cycle. The lines become longer and they get pruned over a period of time. Product line managers must periodically review the line to prune the line to remove the dead woods in that line. And there are two ways of lengthening the lines. The way line happens is one is line stretching, another is line filling. And let's look at each of these. Line stretching is when you stretch in a product line by introducing products either on the lower side, which is called down market stretch, or up market, or both the wise. This happens when the product line is strengthened beyond its current market. A down market stretch happens when you want to introduce lower price products to grow their opportunity, or protect the current product, not necessarily grow only. But if you think there is a new competition on the lower side, you want to protect your mid-size market, mid-scale market, then you can do that. There are many branding choices. You can do a parent brand, sub-brand, or a different brand depending on what is the impact on the main brand. If you wouldn't like the brand to be diluted, so in that case you would decide to use a different brand. It carries the risk of diluting the core brand image and the cannibalization of sales, and that has to be evaluated and taken care of. Upmarket stages, when on the higher side, on the high end of the growth, you introduce a new product. It carries the risk of being able to develop that product, and assuming that you have the resources and capabilities to do that. And you can do it either way. If you want to do a two-way stretch, is to blanket the entire market if you're in the middle, on the high and the lower side, and basically to sandwich the competition. It carries the risk involved of both the stretches. Kotler then talks about line filling. Line filling is basically about adding more item within the existing range to increase profit, satisfy dealers, addressing customers' desire for variety, becoming a full-length line, and plugging holes to keep competitors out. If you overdo it, it can lead to cannibalization, confusion, and loss of profits. If the various points vary in prices, but they're essentially same. Should meet a genuine need ultimately. You listen to the dealers, but ultimately you need to decide whether the market really needs that additional item. He then talks about packaging as a part of product design, and it says managing packaging includes all the activities of designing and producing a container for the product. There are three layers of packaging that capture consumers' attention: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is what basically contains, secondary is the second level container, and tertiary is for shipping. Uh, Packaging is the first encounter of the consumer, and that's where its importance comes. Good packaging draws consumer and encourages choice. It can act as a 5-minute commercial, 5-second commercial, even at home. So it's a constant reminder to you about the product. Many factors are making growing use of packaging as a marketing tool. These are like more self-service happening, so packaging become more important. Consumer affluence, customers are looking for more attractive packaging. It helps in building brand image, as we will see later also. There is a lot of innovation opportunities in packaging itself that can add value to the consumers. Packaging must achieve a number of objectives. It should identify the brand, convey descriptive and persuasive information about the product, the 5-second commercial piece. It facilitates product transportation, protection, and storage, and aids consumption finally. To achieve these objectives, companies need to ensure alignment of functional and aesthetic components, optimize to create value for customers and company both. Create right structural design. Right structural design can have a lot of value in either aesthetics or cost, and harmonize the elements with one another and with pricing, advertising, other marketing mix elements. So packaging needs to get harmonized with the rest of the marketing mix, and the various elements needs to harmonize with each other. Aesthetic consideration includes size, shape, materials, color, text, and graphics, and that's a very kind of creative job in doing the packaging design. Color is a particular important aspect of packaging. Let's look at packaging colors, what Kotler says about colors. Colors carry different meanings in different cultures and segments. Is a language neutral but loaded with meanings. Completely overt, but each person sees color through his or her own eyes in different ways. It can define a brand. Different colors have different meanings, convey different things. Red symbolizes excitement, energy. Orange symbolizes friendliness and fun. Yellow is equated warmth, joy, and happiness. Green connotes health, growth, freshness, and renewal. Blue is associated with dependability, trust, competence. Purple symbolizes nobility, wealth, and wisdom. Pink is soft, peaceful, and comforting. Brown is seen as classic, strong, and balanced, earthy. White connotes purity, innocence, and cleanliness. So, colors have a lot of meaning as enunciated here. How do you manage packaging? We need to update and redesign packaging to keep brand contemporary, relevant, and practical. After you do the packaging design, it must be tested. Engineering tests to ensure that it stands up to under normal conditions of life. Visual test to confirm the script is legible and colors harmonious. And the dealer test to determine dealers find it attractive and easy to handle. Consumer test to establish the buyers will respond to it favorably ultimately. We must consider the environment impact while designing the packaging. Labeling is another important aspect of product. It can be a simple tag or it can be elaborately designed graphics. That's a part of the package. It carries a information or either little or a great deal of information, but a brand name is minimum. It performs many functions for the brand and product: identification, grading, description, and promotion. Eventually, the labeling needs freshening up regularly and must meet the local regulatory requirement. There are a lot of regulatory requirements on labeling, and that one must be careful to make sure that you meet the labeling requirement. The last piece that Kotler talks about was managing guarantees and warranties at a part of product designs. They are the implicit promises that that promise that product will perform as specified, or else it will be fixed or refunded. These are legally enforceable, whether explicit or implicit, and the guarantees basically ensure some kind of compensation on the failure of the performance, and they're good to upfront. They're good to upfront details on the process. Good to have upfront detail on the process of on product failure, as it adds to credibility of the brand claims, reduces functional and monetary risk for the consumer, creates peace of mind for the consumer, helps company focus on customer experience, establish accountability, expedite development of standards, and provide guidelines for recovery from failure. The guarantee can be general or specific. It can be specific for any particular part, or it could be a general satisfaction guarantee. Warranties are similar to guarantee with two differences. They do not allow for returns or refund, and they come with extended period of time over free period for a payment. Basically, warranties and guarantees reduce the buyer's perceived risk. The effective guarantee and warranties are relevant, easily understood, and easy for customers to invoke. Having looked at the product packaging, labeling, and warranty, what do we do next? So, as we've been doing, again, we have three cases here for you to look at in the submissions, in the assignments. Take a look at the case, do it yourself, and compare with the solution that we have gone to do a benchmarking. If you have any questions, leave a message for us to discuss and help you understand our solution and understand your point of view. And that's what we will do in the what is the next for you. So thank you so much for watching this ninth lecture on the chapter 8 of Kotler's Marketing Management, designing and managing products. I hope you continue to get a good recap of the chapters. I continue to learn again, relearn, and enjoy, and I look forward to see you again in the next lecture.